The story starts as the MC started chanting a spell out of a book he picked up. It seems he was summoning something, and upon a closer look a woman with horns appeared. Seeing her summoner, she questioned his inquiry. Around 11 hours ago, the MC encountered a female classmate who was seemingly confessing her love to Kenji-kun. It seems she liked him for so long and wanted to go out. Hearing this made him happy and immediately agreed. He ponders of how long he waited to finally get a girlfriend, waiting 17 years. But his encounter soon turned tragic as another woman intervenes, calling his love letter to turn out to be a lie. After another of the women showed up in disbelief, calling him the worst, things suddenly turn sour as they all angrily prepares to teach him a lesson for toying with a maiden's heart. This startled him and immediately shouted in class. He calls this out for being a terrible dream and was still hung up on the past. Another person agrees right next to him, telling him it's not good to let those things linger too much. It seems this was the teacher all along, and his friend was laughing at him and at the situation as he was asked to go into the guidance room afterwards. After classes, it seems he had a rough time. His friends calls him out for having some balls on sleeping during Kitagawa's Japanese class. It seems she also tried to wake him up, but despite this he couldn't get up in time. He then revealed doing some research. His friends jokingly told him he was just busy watching some lewd stuff. They then proceed to make fun of finding his dirty magazines and calls him old-fashioned. His friends then suggested having someone to date, especially with her little sister being popular, as such he could get introduced. The MC doesn't want to bother with his little sister and wants to confess on his own once he has enough confidence. Hearing this made them call him out for saying the most weirdest things. He also revealed spending all his allowance for this month, and it seems it's the weekend, as such going out is out of the question. It seems he also has important things to tend today and tomorrow, as he heads off and bids farewell to his friends. He was pondering alone walking back home, not believing he got caught earlier in class, and it seems he knew to himself that he is not in a state to confess to anyone right now, as a real girlfriend is nothing but a dream for him, but today it seems to end. As to settle and fully enjoy his school life, he plans to summon a demon on granting his wish. It seems he was determined to execute this, but he tries to hold his composure, realizing the embarrassing words that makes him shed tears in shame. It seems the great demon he wants to summon is the Lady Gremory. It seems she possesses the ability to match his wish. Anxious about this, as he wonders if he could negotiate properly without getting flustered, but with great determination, he arrives at his home wanting to settle things with his past self somehow and enjoy his life with a proper romantic relationship. But upon doing the ritual, he deems this to be a failure. He wonders if he made a mistake and right now he isn't good enough. But the demon claims she is the great demon duchess of the demon world named Gremory. The MC ponders as her appearance and personality is totally different from the legend. As he was talking to the demon, his little sister seemingly overheard a woman's voice in his room. She questioned this, which made Kenji-kun suddenly panic, as this seems bad, and blames the demon for the noise. He then pleads towards the demon to cooperate. He shortly opened the door and apologizes towards his little sister, making up the excuse of trying to adjust the volume to watch a movie and messed up quite a bit. His little sister scolds him and worries of him to not stay up too late. She then realized of not having also any school tomorrow and is wide awake, thus she suggests to watch the movie together in his room. The MC suddenly apologized and reveals of actually watching adult videos. Hearing this shock her, she calls him out, as this is one of the reason he doesn't have a girlfriend. She also noticed he is poking his head out from behind the door, questioning if he doesn't want her coming inside his room. But the MC exclaims that he isn't wearing anything under and was watching those kinds of videos. This ultimately made her lashes out against him. It seems he avoided another misunderstanding and somehow managed to bluff his way through. The demon insults him for being the worst to bluff. She also threatened if he ever step out of the protective magic circle before signing the contract, she would end his life. Hearing this made him anxious, mentioning something about his past life. This suddenly made the demon Gremory to be curious, questioning if he has memories of his past life. It seems he suddenly remembered stuff about 2 years ago. And this was also related to summoning her. She then asks for more details about his past life, asking out of a little curiosity. He then introduced his past self to be a resounded great sage in a world of swords and magic. The demon doesn't seem to believe this and calls him out to be embarrassing. It seems in his past life he died in an accident and had things he regretted. It seems he really wanted to go back to his original world. Gremory is confused. If he was such a great sage, he can just do it with himself rather than summon a demon to help. It seems it was impossible for him to travel to another world with his current and weakened state. It seems it's not just his appearance was reverted back, but his physical and lack of magic abilities are fatal. It seems he did his best to reproduce summoning ritual passed down in this world. It seems this was the whole reason she was summoned, as she possessed the knowledge. It seems she also wonders about this world if it has magic. Upon hearing everyone has magic powers on the other side, Gremory didn't thought twice to agree and wants to make a special contract with the emcee. However, she pointed out that the compensation for a contract with a demon like her in exchange is for his soul. It seems he already knew this and asks her to take it after he dies of natural causes. Only of course if his wish was granted. The demon calls him out for surprisingly cautious, wondering if this was due to him in a position to impose such conditions. The emcee is scared as violence isn't the answer. She then went ahead and calls their encounter a rare opportunity and considered their contract established. She officially introduced herself as the Duchess of the Demon World, holding authority of the universe. Upon asking what's the regret he wants to fulfill, costing of selling his soul to a demon like her. The emcee then reveals of wishing to check out how his girls are doing in his harem after he passed away. The demon is in shock of having a harem, wondering if he was an emperor or something. Gremory teases him for giving off virgin vibes aura. It seems this was caused by the trauma he had from the cause of death in his past life. He also assures that he was super popular and cool. Upon questioning the cause of death in his past life, he reveals being stabbed by one of the girls in the middle of something, which hearing this made her comment of how traumatic this was. She then uses her powers to search the coordinates of his past life and creates the ritual for creating a gate to transfer as well. Upon completing the search, she then insists of opening the gate while they were at it. It seems she was quickly stopped as his house would be damaged in the process and suggests doing it in a more secluded space. Upon going out of his room to go fetch his shoes, he suddenly encountered Saya-chan outside of his room. It seems the whole time she was outside of his room the entire time. She calls him out for bad at keeping secrets. Thus she pretended to go back, but instead she listened on the whole situation. She then immediately cried, wondering if he isn't her real brother all along and is someone who has taken over by memories of a past life. As the emcee tries to clear things up and reason that he has a reason to go back. Hearing this, she suddenly questioned if he really want to see his harem that badly. But to his shock, she already had a knife pushed against his stomach the moment he leaned in. He suddenly started coughing up blood as he fell. She then calls out for the demon to stop hiding and come out. The demon faced her, questioning what are her plans, as they were real siblings. Saya then revealed she was about to be abandoned, and claims to be the only woman who should be by his side in this life and in their former lives as well. Kenji couldn't believe the words coming out of her mouth, as ever since she was born she had memories of her past life too. She reveals she was the first partner he ever summoned and the traitor who killed him in his past life. Her name was Sake, the fox spirit. After ending his life, she also took hers, as well as she doesn't have any attachments to a world without him. She also made sure to prepare a reincarnation spell in advance so that the two of them could be reborn in the same world, though. It seems she had him for the past 17 years until today, having the pleasure to have him all by herself. But it seems she is enraged that a demon woman appeared in front of his big brother. The demon then questioned if she as a mere human can do anything against her. It seems Sake has other plans and immediately showed her true form. The two were surprised as she transformed to her former fox self. Expectedly, she chose this world to be reincarnated as this was her birthplace. And unlike Gremory, she could barely move without the help of a contract. Unlike her, she can function normally in this world that lacks magic. She then insists going outside to settle things, but the MC pleads they don't need to fight. As he passes out due to much blood loss, Sake asks that he should wait for her to return and would pass with him shortly again to reincarnate and spend an eternity together in the afterlife. Outside the balcony, Gremory sees the opportunity and attacks, calling her to be underestimating her too much. But her attack was blocked, as she claims to have the confidence in beating her. In an enclosed barrier, they then headed to cast magic spells towards one another. It seems Gremory is pissed about how crazy of a Yandere fox her enemy was. Meanwhile, the MC was fading away as he tries to fight for his life. It seems it wouldn't make sense if he died and has to find a way to stop them somehow. Upon realizing where he could get a bit of magic power, he then looked towards their way. As the battle engulfs and more magic power gets scattered, their final blows was stopped by the MC as he blocked the attacks and got in the middle of their fight. Gremory was in shock as her final attack was stopped by his fingers, not able to believe he was using magic. It seems he absorbed and recycled the magic they both scattered during their fight. However, this was only his former title of Great Sage. It seems his wound is also completely healed and backfired against Saya, as Gremory recognized her summoner for an exceptional spellcaster. The Yandere fox who betrayed her twice is now in a sorry state. It seems Saya also realized she couldn't win against him, but the MC puts out his magic and asks Gremory to step back and give space. Saya could only look with fear as they faced one another. Saya braces herself for the worse. But instead he was met with a hug and comfort as he apologized for being the one at fault pushing her to do this. It seems he realized how much of a fool he has been seeing her face as his consciousness faded away. It seems he never thought she was chasing after him and was more worried she might get punished by the others. It seems she also misunderstood his intentions of going back and staying permanently but wanted to check up on the things he left abruptly. It seems he plans to stay also as her big brother. Saya the Yandere fox apologizes as she stated she was scared as more and more people were gathering around him and was afraid she would eventually be completely ignored. It seems deep down an ugly jealousy stemming from her inferiority complex sprouted. It seems his own shortcomings drove her to that point. Their moment was shortly lived as Gremory is opening the portal to the world where he was reincarnated from before. And if it's true that it was truly overflowing with magic, it could become a paradise for demons like her. It seems she plans to invade that world, seeing the achievement she could achieve. Hearing this, the two of them is worried as she gets called reckless as on the other side. It seems the MC's reincarnation destination is confirmed. And in that case, the former harem of women will gladly go to their beloved master as they could finally meet once again, awaiting his return. It seems they are all aware that he has been reincarnated and his appearance will be completely different. It seems they were more than delighted to meet him if he was significantly weakened, as they could snatch him away and make them theirs all alone. It seems this was the beginning of Yandere hell. Back to the portal gate, it seems monsters were attacking from inside. Seeing this made Gremory to see the monsters as weaklings. But upon being targeted, she was surprised to receive its attack more powerful than she anticipated. The MC and Saya asks that Gremory defeats them as they would soon find out the situation, but it seems she has trouble in defeating the monsters out. Saya panics as the barrier would soon be undone and everything would be revealed. The MC isn't that bothered as they would be left alone once the other side is finished observing this world. As he tries to use another magic attack, it seems it's impossible as he doesn't have any magic power left, but somehow the gate is closing slowly. It seems running around for Gremory was just a way to buy time. It seems the entities chasing has unbelievably high magical density paired with the magic being sparse in this world. They soon collapse and the gates closed. Gramarye is delighted to know the magical monster entities were tougher than she thought, thus she expects a lot from this other world, wanting to know more. As she heads down, she asks more information about this other world, but the emcee is satisfied and doesn't want to go to that world, stating their contract is fulfilled. Gramarye exclaims this was not possible as the magic leaking out from that gate was this much and can power up by a lot. She then states what would happen if they invade and make that power theirs. The emcee argues this would be impossible, destroying her determination. It seems the emcee tries to explain. He questioned what does Gramarye thought of the monsters earlier. It seems for her she foresee this as a high-level demon. But in reality it was just a low-ranking one, a familiar use for reconnaissance. It seems the magic density of the world Tullia is off the charts. Because of this place was teeming with monsters everywhere. Among them there are also exceptionally vicious individuals, ones that could easily destroy an entire country. It seems the human are also stronger than expected, but technological levels stuck on medieval era. It seems it's possible that the inhabitants over the other side are stronger than her race. She instantly was met with fear, but shortly cried and weep as when she finally had the chance to achieve something big. The emcee could only comfort her of handing over his soul to fulfill the contracts. Hearing this made the Yandere fox to be enraged, but was stopped by the emcee with a smile on her face. She bids farewell and wants to go back to the world of demons and claims of seeing him again to claim his soul when his lifespan is over. But it seems nothing happened when she activate. As the two watch in awkwardness, it seems Gramarye doesn't understand the situation. But afterward she doesn't have any means to return to the demon world. Normally she could just go back and easily dissolve her temporary body. The Yandere Saya used her eyes with magic power to identify the problem and found out her figure is completely incarnated. They suggest this must be because she absorbed the magic from the gate. It seems her body got bound by the laws of this world, which means she could only use a bit of magic and have become a mere human. Hearing her words made her stunned. She laughs hysterically and borrowed the knife, wanting to also take her life as a means to return. But the emcee stepped in as she might perished away normally. The after effects soon started as her clothes deteriorates. This left her to shout and make the emcee to take a peek. It seems this world has an unusually low magic density, and that ritual also serves to support the demon activities. It seems the magic used to fulfill contract are sourced from said demo world. And since the contract with the emcee is complete, the support for magic is gone, which means Gramarye doesn't even have the magic to maintain her outfit. All she could do is be left helpless and cry. They try to come up ways to help her, but it seems he already settled things with his previous life and doesn't want to rely on magic or demons anymore. Saya pointed out this was impossible as he was already discovered where he reincarnated. It seems the familiars earlier came to investigate and find any trace of him. As he tries to use the reason that they would just be disappointed to see his current state, Saya argues not everyone looks up to him due to strength alone, as even now Saya still loves him very much. The emcee exclaims that once Gramarye calmed down he wants to make another contract, but right now it seems it's impossible to do so and leaves her alone for a while. As they catch some rests, Saya exclaims of having her past life exposed, and despite everything she eagerly wanted to sleep right next together in her room. As he pats her head and made her blush, the emcee is dense as a forest and insists on borrowing their parents' room for tonight. They left her in distraught and shocked. She then approached the former demon Gramarye with a smirk on her face. She suggests they make a little deal with her. With scary eyes, the former Yandere fox explains that if she agrees she would provide support for her to live in this world and would help to do something about her current condition. It seems Saya can't give 100% guarantee but could only back it up by studying reincarnation techniques. Saya then anxiously asks for the price for this. It seems Saya has 3 demands. First, Gramarye has to make sure that her brother falls head over heels for her, and asks it to be natural. Gramarye paused, pointing out that they are siblings despite their past lives. But Saya doesn't seem bothered as she is confident they could alter the family registry. Gremory, despite being a demon, finds her to be serious dangerous. Saya, with a deranged look in her eyes, asks Gremory to listen till the end, as this would benefit her also. Gremory could only stood in silence, pondering of how of a demon she is. As the morning came, the MC barely got any sleep and wonders about any solution to fix about Gremory's situation as he headed inside his room. He was surprised to see them being close to one another, having the girls talk. He was surprised the two of them got close. Saya is happy that they talked about a lot of things last night. It seems Gremory decided to accept his new offer to renew the contract. It seems Saya put the details as Gremory has to protect him from anyone who was involved with him in the other world. Although it feels kind of vague, it's necessary when demons like her wants to stay in this world for a long time. The condition is also until his lifespan runs out. Gremory has other plans for its conditions. The MC offers his computer, but made Gremory to be enraged as this trash doesn't deserve to be offered. Saya calms them down, as for her they seemingly agreed upon providing support for clothing, food and support. Saya also already plans to explain to their parents, which they then once again formed a contract. Upon testing her magic powers to be back, she became happy and enthusiastic and started right away. She then transformed her outfit back into the original. But Saya seemed displeased as she destroyed her favorite outfit. Her room was also decided that it would be the storage room. As the idea of the brother and sister being together, it seems he wanted some privacy and stuff, but Saya doesn't mind if he were watch his collections. In the end, it seems she was given another room to stay in. But before they do everything, Gremory asks about his exes from the previous life. The MC is unsure as it's in the triple digits, but Saya confirms it's 7 that for sure won't give up on him. It seems beforehand there is a round table consisting 8 people that were his previous lovers. Hearing this made Gremory to comment that he was something back then. Back to the other world, it seems the 7 women were gathering as they were called, and in this round table we are introduced to Veracruz the Blazing Radiance, Anita the Vessel of Corruption, Sharistina the Iron-Blooded Saint, Aruthia the Elegina Wind Blossom, and last Kalzavina the Divine Abyss of Hope. Kalzavina announced to everyone that they have identified where he has been reincarnated. Hearing this surprised them, and most of all were delighted to hear the news. Upon being questioned for the basis of this claim, the footage was shown where they confirmed the soul waveform of the boy matches the description perfectly. It seems they were confident as he still has that stupid look on his face. Upon seeing this, one of the group memes is enraged, questioning why is a treacherous vixen is with him. They suggest that he must have forgave her due to being lenient with those close to him. They wonder why he opened the gate as he could just came back already. They argued that someone hostile to him interfered. Hearing this made them happy to crush this hostile entity as they plan to bring him back. As they gather more information on the area and world, it seems they still hasn't much as they currently are deploying a gate for investigation. We are also introduced to 2 shut-ins. It seems they were altered when the familiar they had monitoring the other has been destroyed. Eager to check it out, the group disperse and is worried if something serious were to happen. Veracruz questioned if all of this is going according to plan. She then comments the 2 of them are alike, but for her desire are far more shallow and petty than one thinks, and would be taking advantage of the situation as the rivalry over Kenji the MC has already begun.